It was a nice and sunny day on the railway, and Alfred was taking the children to school. That horrible day will never leave me, and it probably never will. But right now, I gotta try and forget about it and focus on doing my work. Alfred soon arrived at the station where he dropped off the children. "Thank you, Alfred," they all said. "You're very welcome, kids. I'll be back at 3 o'clock to pick you up." Alfred now had to go to Starlight Village to drop off his coaches for the other engines to use. And then, he would go do his other jobs. Alfred arrived at Starlight Village. "Hello, everyone." "Hi, Alfred," they all said. "Alfred? Alfred?" "Oh, sorry guys. I was just daydreaming just a little bit. Anyway, I better get going to my next job." Next, Alfred had to go to the narrow gauge railway to pick up some ballast. "Hi, Kevin. Hey, Steve." "Hi, Alfred." "What's the matter, Kevin?" "Well, you see, I just can't say it." "Is everything alright?" "I'm afraid not, Alfred. Kevin's railway is starting to close." "What? Why?" "The businesses around the railway is not going very well, as usual, and less tourists are coming to the railway as well. Kevin and Jeff have been trying very hard to pick things up, but it seems it's not going very well." "I can't believe this is happening." "I'm afraid it is, Alfred. Mr. Carvin says it might close in about a week or two." "Oh my goodness." "But hey, there's nothing to worry about just yet. I'm sure if me and Jeff work very hard still, I'm sure everything will run as usual again. Anyway, I must get going now. I'm not gonna keep busy if I keep chatting. Bye, guys. Bye, Kevin." "I better get going now, too. I'll see you later at the shed, Steve." "Okay. See ya, Alfred." "Oh, look at the time. It's 2 o'clock. I'm sure we go back to Starlight Village and get your coaches now. We'll be at the station in time to pick up the children." "Good idea. Let's get going." Later, Alfred came to the station to pick up the children. But when he got there, the children were nowhere to be seen. That's odd. They're usually here by now. Yes, it's very odd. But that's alright. We can wait for them. Yeah, they can't be too far. Alfred waited and waited. 10 minutes had passed, and the children still haven't arrived at the station. We can't keep waiting for them, Alfred. We gotta get to our station to pick up your other passengers. You're right. I hope they're okay. And who knows, maybe Jelly or Misty picked them up from school. And with that, Alfred chuffed away. Did you take the children home nice and safely, Alfred? Well, later when I came to pick the children up from school, they weren't at the station, so I waited for about 10 minutes, but I had to get going. I assumed that Jelly or Misty picked them up. Oh, really? Well, that's strange. You're always the one that picks up the children. Yeah, but oh well. I'll ask them why they weren't at the station tomorrow. And since you've been working very hard, I'm deciding to let you have 1 whole week off. For all the hard work that you have done for the past few months. You can do whatever you like. Hey, Alfred. I'm sure it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I promise. I hope so, Boris. I hope you enjoy your week off, Alfred. I wish I had a whole week off. I would do all sorts of fun stuff. I bet you would, Barry. And so one by one, the engines went to go do their work. Alfred was now all by himself. While Alfred was having his week off, the engines had to do Alfred's work as well as their own, and they all each had a turn running on Alfred's branch line. They didn't mind. They knew that Alfred was having a well-deserved break, and they took very good care of his coaches as well as his passengers. Meanwhile, while Alfred was having his week off, he was still in his shed, and he did not want to come out. Hey, Alfred. You feeling alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Alfred, it's been 4 days now. Don't you want to do some fun stuff before your week is over? Not really. I'm comfortable here. But you will have to come back to work in 3 days. You can't be upset forever, you know. I know, sir. And I will come back. And I'll be happy, and I'll be a really useful engine. That's great to hear, Alfred. I'm really proud of you. Well, I better get back to my office now. See ya, Alfred. Bye, sir. Mr. Tycoon, I'll never be happy. 'Cause what's there to be happy about? Three days had passed, and Alfred was ready to get back to work. It's great that you're coming back to work tomorrow, Alfred. Yeah, we don't have to do your work anymore. But we hope that you're all better now, Alfred. I'm all better now. That's really awesome to hear. We're really happy for you, Alfred. Thanks, you guys. Well, I better get to sleep now. I have a busy day tomorrow. Good night. Wow, he's eager to get to work. Haha, he sure is, Barry. And soon, the other engines were asleep too. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all had a good night's sleep. We did, sir, but I think Alfred enjoyed his sleep most of all. He's still sleeping. Hahaha. Alright, Alfred, it's time to get up now. Alfred? Is he that fast asleep? Probably. He did went to sleep pretty early. I see. Alfred, it's time to get up now. You have work to do. Alfred? What the? Where is he? Do any of you know where he is? But the engines didn't know where Alfred was. The last time they saw him was when he went to sleep in the shed. Oh dear, this isn't good. We must start a search party at once. Alfred must be found. Soon, all of the engines were looking for Alfred. They were looking everywhere. Boris and Wilson checked the shunting yards. Trixie told Jelly, and then Jelly told the other vehicles. Don't worry, Jelly, I'm sure we'll find him. Yeah, Alfred couldn't gone that far. We'll find him soon, Jelly. I hope so. He's one of my closest friends. Susie and Trixie went to the smelter's yard and they asked Bobby and Derek if they had seen Alfred. But they haven't seen him. Jordy and Yellow Dash asked the people in Starlight Village if they had seen Alfred. But none of them had seen Alfred. We're sorry, we don't know where he is. That's okay. I'm sure we'll find Alfred sooner or later. Then Wilson asked the narrow gauge engines if they had seen Alfred. But Kevin and Jeff also haven't seen Alfred. The engines looked on every track, up and down hills, and behind trees. But at the end of the day, no one found Alfred. Boris Lair told Mr. Tycoon that they couldn't find Alfred anywhere. I'm sorry, sir. We looked everywhere, and we asked everyone where Alfred is, but no one knows where he is. Oh no, if you couldn't find him on our railway, then that means he must have ran to another railway. Oh, Alfred, where in America could you be? Alfred was very far away from home. He was in a small village, in a small shed, and he was all alone. No one will find me here, and I hope no one ever finds me. The next morning, there was a very important meeting at Croven Station. Everyone, it has come to my conclusion that Alfred is on another railway. The engines and the vehicles were very worried for Alfred. Now, I have no idea why Alfred would just run away like this for no reason. And since of course we don't know when he's going to be coming back, I'll be sending 3 engines to go look for Alfred on the other railways. I have thought about this very well, and the 3 engines that are going to be looking for Alfred are going to be Boris, Wilson, and Barry. I hope you 3 are okay with my choice. We are, sir, and we'll be happy to go look for Alfred on the other railways. Yes, no worries, sir. We'll be back with Alfred safe and sound. And we'll be back soon as possible as well. I knew I could count on you 3, and I hope everything goes well. And I'll help too. I'm sorry, Steve, but someone's gotta look after the quarry. Aw, man, I really want to go. Don't worry, Steve. I'm sure you'll manage just fine without me. And we'll be back with Alfred very soon. Okay, I hope you do. Good luck to all 3 of you, they said. As Boris, Wilson, and Barry blew their whistles, and they chuffed away to find Alfred. Good luck, and take care, they all said. Meanwhile, Alfred was still where he was. Sometimes, he would see other engines go past, pulling out of coaches or goods trains. In the small village where he was, there was only a few buildings, but everyone there was very busy, and they didn't have time to stop and talk. The others must be so worried about me. They don't know where I am. They don't know if I'm okay. They probably don't know that I'm still alive. Heck, who knows? They probably don't want me back after I just ran away. I know they're all wondering why I ran away. So when I come back, or if they find me, I'll tell them then. Sooner or later. It was nighttime when Boris, Wilson, and Barry finally found Alfred. Hey guys, look, there he is. He's in that small shed. Finally, we've been looking everywhere for him. Let's get Alfred so we can go back to our own railway. Hold on a second, Barry. We can't just go up to Alfred and just tell him to come back. Why not? Well, he probably has a good reason of why he ran away. But anyway, I'll go talk to him and reason with him. Good idea, Boris. You've known Alfred a lot longer than we have, so it would be a good idea if you went to talk to him. Thank you, Wilson. Well, okay. But don't take too long. We gotta get back to Midland. Don't worry. It will only take a few minutes. Hey there, Alfred. What the, Boris? You found me. How? Everyone has been looking everywhere for you. We were so scared about you, Alfred. Well, I'm okay, Boris. I just had to run away. That's everyone's biggest question, Alfred. Why did you run away? I don't know. Then why did you run away, Alfred? Please tell me. Well, I'll tell you. It's because I had to run away from my problems. Your problems? What are you talking about? Well, do you promise not to tell anyone? Of course. What is it? Well, a long time ago, before I came to this railway, I killed someone. What? No, that can't be true. You would never kill anyone, Alfred. Well, I did a few years ago, back on my old railway. Let me tell you the story. You see, 3 railway inspectors came to visit the railway, 1 female and 2 males. They were all very nice people, and I was the one that was showing them the railway. After I showed them the railway, and as they were talking to each other about how great it was, a man in a green hoodie came up to them, and he pointed a gun at them, and he threatened to kill them if they didn't give him their phones and wallets. But they couldn't because they left their phones and wallets in their car. He thought they were lying, and he still threatened to kill them if he didn't get what he wanted. The station master tried to reason with the guy and to put his gun down, but instead, he shot the poor man and he died instantly. He then pointed his gun at the woman, and he threatened to kill her next. I was scared. I couldn't just watch another person get killed. So what did I do? I blew my whistle long and loud. The man was startled, and he fell off the station platform, and he landed right on the tracks and broke his back. He then threatened to kill me next. So what did I do? I ran him over. Blood was everywhere, and the railway inspectors were horrified. And when I realized what I did, I knew I messed up. After the incident, it was all over the news, and the other engines that I used to work with thought I was nothing more than a killer. Murderer! Who are you gonna kill next, Alfred? Yeah, an engine like you should be scrapped. Please stop. I'm not a murderer. Yes, you are, Alfred. You killed a human being. That means you're a murderer. All of you shut the hell up and leave Alfred alone. Alfred did the right thing, and that was taking out a worthless piece of trash. Don't stand up for him. He killed someone. Well, yeah, but that guy was nothing more than a murderer himself. That murderer was a human being, you fool. Yeah, and Alfred killed a human being. Engines who kill people do it by accident, not on purpose. And Alfred did on purpose. And for that, Alfred should be scrapped. A few days later, when I was told to be in the shed, my old railway controller told me that the railway wasn't as busy as usual since the incident, and he told me that I'll be going to another railway in a few days. I agreed with him, since almost all the other engines disliked me after I killed that man. When that day came, I traveled really far away, and I soon arrived on the Midland, Texas Railway. Luckily, no one knew that I killed someone, and I swore from that day forward that I would never tell anyone that I killed a person. And I kept that as my personal and horrible secret, and I never told anyone. Until now. Boris was speechless. My God. Is this actually true, Alfred? I'm afraid so, Boris. It is 100% true. Wow. Well, don't worry, Alfred. I promise I will never tell anyone. Your secret is safe with me. Thank you, Boris. I knew I could trust you. I feel so sorry for Alfred. All the crap that he's been through. I'm just so sorry for him. Achoo! Alfred, wait! Boris, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to sneeze. Wilson, it's okay. You can't help it. Come on. If we follow Alfred now, we won't lose him again. And so Wilson and Boris buffered up, and they raced after Alfred. As the three were chasing after Alfred, they came to an end at the biggest smelter's yard they ever seen. Oh no, don't tell me he went in there. We better go see if he's okay. And so, they went inside. There he is. They found Alfred on one of the sidings, but above him was a huge claw. Barry, no. Barry, he saved my life, but in the end, it cost him his own life. There was a moment of silence. I hate to say this now, but I think it's time that we got back to our own railway now. You're right. Let's go. And so the engines left the smelter's yard, sad and quietly. The next morning, the 3 engines arrived back at the sheds. The other engines were very happy to see Alfred again. We're so happy that you're okay, Alfred. But where's Barry? Well, you see... Don't worry, Alfred. I'll tell them. Tell us what? And so Wilson told everyone what had happened to Barry. The engines were shocked and horrified about what they had heard. Steve, on the other hand, was very upset, due to the fact that Barry was his best friend. No, this can't be true. You have to be lying. I'm very sorry, Steve, but it's all true. I'm so sorry about this, Steve. I never meant for this to happen, honestly. Barry, my bestest friend, killed by a giant claw. Why? Later, Boris and Alfred told Mr. Tycoon what had happened to Barry. I can't believe it. Barry was one of my most reliable engines, and now he's gone. Sir, I'm so sorry. It's my fault Barry is dead. If I didn't run away like an idiot, Barry would be still alive right now. Alfred, it's okay. I know you never meant for this to happen, so don't blame yourself. What's gonna happen now that Barry is gone, sir? You're not gonna replace him, are you? No, Boris. Barry is unreplaceable, and I could never do that to our number 5 engine. I agree, sir. Me too. Barry was a really helpful and reliable, and most importantly, a really useful engine, and it would be just so wrong if we replace him like that. Rest in peace, Barry. You were always a really useful engine. Later that day, Boris and Wilson told everyone else about Barry's passing. Boris told the road vehicles, and they were all very shocked and upset. Then Wilson told the narrow gauge engines, I can't believe it. Barry, you gotta be kidding. Please tell me this is a joke. This isn't a joke, Jeff. It's all true. Barry is gone. A few days had passed, and the engines were still very upset about Barry. They missed him very much. Steve was missing Barry the most, and it was very hard for Steve to work at the quarry all by himself without Barry. So Mr. Tycoon had decided that Susie will be working at the quarry. She did a very good job, and she also managed to cheer up Steve a little bit as well. Barry, I'm so sorry. Hey, Alfred. Oh, hey, Boris. Alfred. Oh, hey, Mr. Tycoon. Alfred, I know how much you feel sorry for Barry, but staying in the shed won't make him come back. It's time that you got back to work now, Alfred. I know, sir, but I just can't come back. Alfred. No, sir. It's my fault that Barry is dead. If I didn't run away like an idiot, Barry would be still alive right now. And he wouldn't have to sacrifice his life to save me. He's dead because of me. If I didn't run into the giant smelter's yard and try to commit suicide, then Barry won't have to sacrifice his life to save me. Listen, I know how badly you want Barry to come back, but think about what Barry would want. He saved you for a reason. He wanted you to be happy, not all sad and miserable. And you gotta remember that there's other people for you. Family, friends, everyone is there for you, to cheer you up and make you happy again. Even if you lost someone that you really care about. Thank you very much, sir. I'll come out in a little bit, but I still can't forget about the guilt that's inside me. Alfred, we understand. And Alfred? Yes? Me and Wilson, yes? Well, Alfred, me and Wilson told Mr. Tycoon about your secrets. What? Why? Listen, I know me and Wilson weren't supposed to tell anyone, but we found someone that would like to meet you. They will help you forget about all your guilt in the past. Alfred, we know how hard this is for you, but please trust us. It's the only way how to make you all better. Okay, who is it? Hello, Alfred. Hi. Do you remember me from a few years ago? We met on your old railway, remember? It's you! You're one of the railway inspectors I met a few years ago. That's right. My name's Jaden, and this here is my 4-year-old daughter, Elise. I remember the day when we first met. You showed me and two of my friends the most beautiful sights on your railway, and you were so nice and kind. Now, you remember on that day, a robber came up to me and two of my friends, and he threatened to kill us if we didn't give him what he wanted. Three weeks later, hard times came. And I'm very sorry to say, but the Texas Midland Railway was closing. All the stations on the railway had a sign that said, "Closed forever." But it wasn't just the stations that were closed. The quarry, the delivery yards, and even the narrow gauge railway was closed. And the people that were living in Starlight Village had to leave. No one was making any money in their town, mostly because their businesses weren't going very well because not many people were visiting the village. And everyone in the village had no choice but to move. Jordy had came with some coaches to take all the villagers to their new homes. And everyone packed all their luggage in Susie's trucks. And once everyone had packed up everything, they all sadly got into the coaches. I can't believe this is happening. The line to the village was reopened about almost a year ago, and now it's closing completely now. Hey, don't be upset. I'm sure your new homes will be very lovely, and I'm sure you'll make lots of money there too. I hope so, Jordy. I really hope so. Please don't cry. I know it's hard to leave home, especially when you lived there for so many years. But that's okay, because the important thing is, as long as you have family and friends with you, then they are your real home. Those are some very wise words, Susie. Yes, they are. They made me feel a lot better now. Thank you very much, Susie. You're very welcome. Well, I think it's time to go. Goodbye, Starlight Village. I'll miss you very much. As Jordy steamed away, all the people in the coaches leaned out, and they all said goodbye to Starlight Village, and that they'll miss their village and their home. Then Susie followed. The next day, Starlight Village was closed completely, and the line to Starlight Village was closed. It had a large sign that said, "Closed forever." Even though that the village was closed, at least everyone in all of Texas will never forget Starlight Village, the village that was once forgotten, but found again. But this time, it was abandoned completely. 1 week later, the sidings were empty, and there were no engines working. The railway was completely closed. All the engines were at the docks. A few people that came to buy some of the engines. Alright, the engines that we decide that we'll be taking to our railway will be Kevin and Jeff, Jordy, Yellow Dash, Susie and Trixie, and we'll also be taking those coaches and that green brake van. And finally, we'll also be taking Jelly and Misty. It's good that you're taking 2 of my engines with you. They'll be very useful. Indeed they will be, and thank you for buying some of my engines. It was a pleasure doing business with you two. But what's going to happen to the other engines? Well, Alfred, Boris, Wilson, and Steve will be going to an island called Sodor. Sodor? That is a very popular island. Indeed it is, and I think it'll be the perfect place to send these 4 engines to work. I know for a fact that Alfred, Boris, Wilson, and Steve will be very happy there. And we promise we'll take very good care of these engines. Thank you very much. Would it be alright if you gave me and Mr. Carvin a few minutes with our engines before they leave? Of course. Take as much time as you need. Thank you. That means a lot. Yes, thank you very much. And so, the 4 gentlemen walked away to give Mr. Tycoon and Mr. Carvin a few minutes with their engines. Everyone, before you all go to your new homes, I just want to say, it has been amazing being your controller. Everything that has happened, all the events that we've been through, and I know for a fact that when you are told to take a goods train or a passenger train, I can always trust on you guys, because you always do an amazing job and you always get to your destinations safe and on time. When you guys chuff down the lines, go around bends, in and out tunnels, up and down hills, you always do a great job with your work, and it's been an honor being your controller. And I'm so proud to have such amazing engines working on an amazing railway. And Mr. Carvin, it has been a pleasure working with you. It has been a pleasure working with you too, Mr. Tycoon. Kevin and Jeff, I'm gonna miss you both, But I know, as long as you two are in service on a railway working very hard, I know you two will be very happy. And I'm gonna miss you two very much. We'll miss you too, sir. Those were amazing words, Mr. Carvin. We'll keep in contact with each other. Indeed we will, Mr. Tycoon. Now everyone, there is one more thing that you should all know, and that is, no matter where we are and how far away from each other we are, we will always be together in our hearts. Don't forget us when you guys go to Sodor. Don't worry, Yellow Dash. We will never forget you or the others. Because we are all best friends. And who knows, maybe we will see each other again soon. I hope we do. That'll be great. Hey, I have a quick question. What is it, Jordy? Well, we're in America, of course. So how can we call freight cars trucks and cabooses brake vans, like we do in the UK? You know, that's a really good question. I don't know. That's easy. You see, we're British engines, of course. So it makes more sense why we call freight cars trucks and cabooses brake vans, and other rolling stock that we call in the UK. And since we've been calling all the rolling stock here in the US like we do in the UK, all the workmen and station masters start calling them that too. So it makes more sense to us when we do work. Oh yeah, that makes more sense. How come we never noticed that before? Well, at least we know now. Haha. We're finally here, guys. We're on the island of Sodor. I can't wait to start work here. Me too. I cannot wait to see all the engines here. Same here. I bet we're gonna have a great time here. Ah, hi there. You four must be the new engines. Welcome to Sodor. Why, thank you. A man named the Fat Controller will be wanting to see you four at a station called Nafford. Here's where you gotta go. I will never forget all the amazing times that I had on the Texas Midland Railway. And I'll never forget all the amazing people, cars, and engines that I met. 'Cause they'll always have a special place in my heart. I'm still a little bit upset that I had to say goodbye to everyone, but at least I still have 3 of my good friends with me. And as long as I have them, I am ready to start a new life here on Sodor. Hello, you four must be the new engines. My name's Thomas, and welcome to the island of Sodor.